In the early days of Facebook, we spent a lot of time talking about organic reach. It was all organic and it was free, and that was the best part of it. But I know now that I've heard you talk about you don't recommend spending a lot of time on organic posts any longer. Why is that? Tell us why that maybe it's not the best use of our time.
Sure. So, I mean, anyone who's in the stock market has seen Facebook's stock price lately. It's down. They're a publicly traded company. They got to find a way to make money. So they don't give stuff away for free like they used to. So before, where you could get anywhere from 10, 15, even maybe 20 at the peak of organic reach. So if you have 1,000 followers, 200 people see your posts. Today that number's down to 2.2%. So for every 1,000 followers you have, only 22 people actually see the post. So a lot less people. So, most centers have, 2 to 5,000 or so followers. So, we're talking about 100 people seeing your posts. I don't tell people like you can't do it, but it just doesn't get the same results that it used to. I still love seeing when people get a 300 game that gets posted, or, a picture of a kid's birthday party. But to put a lot of resources behind it, I just don't think is ideal. We deal with a limited amount of budget and resources. There's only so much money and time that can be spent towards marketing. So I tell my clients, hey, let's spend it over here instead. You can still do some of that if you want, but if we're trying to get the most bang for our buck, that's probably not the spot to do it.
Okay, so if we're not going to do the organic, you mentioned putting it over here. What should centers do instead? Where should we spend our resources and time in that Facebook?
Yeah, great question. So we've done mostly just moving it over to ad spend on the Facebook ads, or maybe some of the YouTube. We used to do it for clients, and then I started looking and digging into the numbers, and I told them to stop. I said, don't give me the money to do these posts and have us do it. I would rather you take that same amount of money and put it into advertising budget, because, Facebook is right now gets around a $4 CPM on average for what we're doing. That means for every $4 you spend, 1,000 people will see your ad. So, you can do the math. It's, somewhere almost 100,000 people for $500. It's just way more than that 22 people a pop for those posts. So I just put it straight back into ad spend.
Makes sense. Great tip. So I know that you focus on kind of a less is more and saying focus on the high impact items, but right now TikTok seems to be all the rage. And while it may be popular in with kind of pop culture, is it something that we should be in yet? Should we, as small business operators, specifically in bowling, should we be worried about TikTok and be a part of the conversation?
Yeah, so this is something we're testing the waters on. We're not fully in on it yet. We're going to see how it goes. I think long term it'll be up there with a Facebook, Instagram. It'll be a big player there because they have that ability to target and a lot of growing users. So it's something that we're dipping our toes into. But the biggest takeaway, honestly, that I've gotten from TikTok is to mimic your ads or your content after their style. So if you've ever seen, Facebook stories or Instagram reels or YouTube shorts, these are all just copies of the TikTok style of content. So TikTok took off over the last 2-3 years, and all the other social media platforms are just copying them and trying to be just like them. So you can ride that wave and get a little bit of a tailwind by copying their style of content because it's more engaged. So if you just take their exact style of like the vertical video, it's quick 10-15 seconds, like straight to the point. They have some of these they all use a lot of the same music tracks or the same voiceover, and just create your ads to mimic that style and then run them where all the other places you would, like the Facebook and Instagram. Then you get a huge bang for the buck. So whether you're not on TikTok today is kind of TBD, but absolutely 100% I would say copy their content style.
Yeah, I love that, Forrest. I hope our viewers today caught that, because that's a golden nugget there, is that you can be like TikTok without having to be on TikTok, right? To replicate the great things that they're doing there. That's brilliant.
Hey, did you like this video? Great. We make 10 of them a week. Subscribe to learn more and keep learning about what's working in the industry. Talk to you then.